Hey everybody, it's Glenn back with another Clash Royale analysis video. We're going to take a look at the Clash Royale Copa America Championship Series between USA and Dominican Republic. Group stage happening right now. So this is Group C. We're going to take a look at Emma versus Airsurfer. I thought this game was fascinating just because I think one decision really turned the whole game. And it's given how the game plays currently in Season 13, it does feel like, you know, you can get away with one bad decision because you can cycle really fast. We're seeing a lot of cycle lineups take control of the meta. But in this game, it really felt like one decision really perhaps turned the game way differently. So we see both players have banned Fisherman, it looks like. And a little bit of nothing doing in the beginning until Emma brings out Cage and Airsurfer just brings in a barrel to take out the Cage, and then here comes the Brawler. But Emma brings a Skeleton Barrel. We're seeing a lot of Skeleton Barrel lately. So Heal Spirit takes out most of those skeletons. There's some damage on the tower. This bandit dashes in, but it dashes right at the Spear Goblin, so the Magic Archer slices through the Inferno Dragon. Nothing doing right now. So now Airsurfer brings in a Magic Archer. Log, Miner. That's really good, but then there's a Lumberjack that comes in and does the rest. And it doesn't look like Airsurfer wanted anything to do with that push. It was just a matter of making sure that the Miner doesn't do anything to the tower. So a minute in, still nothing doing. Got a Magic Archer, which would be taken out by this, by the Princess Tower. And that little bit of damage gets done to the Inferno Dragon. Gets stopped. Again, nothing doing. If we look on the left side now, Skeleton Barrel comes in, and that Ram Rider stops it, and the Ram Rider gets one shot on the tower. So right now, we know 7 of these players' 8 cards. And I'll tell you right now, the 8th card for Emma is Delivery. And so it wasn't in this game specifically that I was saying, okay, could Emma have dropped Delivery at this point right here? This is not the main decision I think turned the game, but it was just one of those, perhaps things could have been a little bit different if Delivery had come in the game. So we see Skeleton Barrel. It's a good threatening card. That's why I like this, because it's a good threatening card right here. So it's a good play. But then you have the Ram Rider that immediately stops it. So it's a good counter by Airsurfer to say, okay, all right, your barrel's not going to get to the tower. Not worrying about what's happening on the right, because the bandit's going to just dash through everybody. We need to take care of that Skeleton Barrel. So Skeleton Barrel gets taken care of, and the Cage comes in. Now, there's 3 Elixir. We know what the 8th card is. Perhaps this was the time to play Delivery. Emma brought out Bats, so it was a good answer to the Ram Rider, because you're going to have the Brawler, and how many ever Bats are left after this is all over. Although Ram Rider is taking care of the skeletons. So it's just game of inches that Ram Rider does get a hit on the tower. Here comes the counter push. Miner comes in, and a good guess by Airsurfer to bring that Lumberjack in the back. What we've seen so far with how Airsurfer has played this Lumberjack is we saw it over here, where we had the Magic Archer. So Log came in with Miner, and then Airsurfer said, I'm going to immediately stuff that with Lumberjack and then try to create a push, if it seemed feasible. He didn't do it here. He immediately stuffs it in the back here. And so by doing that, there's no push, and there is some damage on the tower, but not really nothing to do. Magic Archer comes in, brings in some geometry, and here's where I think the game really turned. Okay, so Airsurfer has Lumberjack, and it's a matter now of, okay, does Airsurfer want to push? It doesn't seem like this is a really great opportunity to push because Ram Rider is not in his hand at the moment. So brings a Magic Archer. I mean, Emma brings a Magic Archer. And Airsurfer brings in a barrel. Emma brings in a log. And now a bandit. And all of a sudden, it didn't look like there was going to be a push. And now this is a really threatening push. Yes, Emma got some geometry on that tower, which is really good. But we're going to see what happens in this next sequence here. Barbarians covering for Lumberjack. Lumberjack gets 2 shots on the tower, and Bandit dashes through. And here comes Ram Rider because Airsurfer had cycled back. Nobody's around until the delivery comes in, and the tower is pretty much on a thread until that Magic Archer takes it down. So, what happened here, and what could have been different? So here comes that log, and the log, and this is what I think was designed to happen. It just didn't happen. That log and that Magic Archer should have handled that Lumberjack. But because it didn't, now you have a Barbarian that is in front of the Lumberjack that should be dead, but is not. This, I thought was, I mean, this is where I thought the game turned. Now, the answer was, okay, here comes a big threat. What do you do? Now, you have to worry about this Lumberjack getting a couple shots on the tower because this Barbarian is providing enough beef to make sure the Lumberjack gets through on the left. As we see right here, 1, 2 shots, and that's it. So what about the Bandit? This is where I thought perhaps delivery could have been played. Yes, there's only 2 elixir at the moment. And you play 3 elixir. But I think perhaps the ideal play would have been to bring in delivery down here. You crush all of the Barbarian and the Lumberjack here, and the Bandit is going to dash into the Royal Recruit. It seemed like that would have been the sequence that would have played out. Otherwise, what would have been another ideal play? I mean, if we look at it here, this Bandit just smacks everybody, comes in, and then there's nothing to do it, and then the Ram Rider comes in and just finishes up the tower. What else would have worked for delivery here? This is where I think would have happened. Instead of that log, which was designed to, okay, get rid of the Lumberjack, and then, okay, figure out what to do with the Barbarian that comes out. Instead, put in that delivery right there, and if Bandit comes in the same sequence that it is, the delivery would have been right here, and the Bandit would have met that delivery right here. It really was, I think this game really came down to that decision right there, when to play delivery. Because I think right here was a great opportunity to do it instead of playing log, and then you still have log to push back whatever troops you have. Because if you think about it this way, could perhaps save and bring in another cage instead of bats. So here comes delivery, and that's really the tower right there. So because of that decision, Airsurfer now has the lead, and he can play defense all he wants. But because there's no massive card in this lineup, it's just going to be a bunch of small pushes, hoping for the best. But they all get answered. You see the minor got answered by Lumberjack. The barrel answers. The barrel answers the skeleton barrel. Another try, another answer on this minor by Lumberjack, and Barbarian barrel takes out skeleton barrel. The only hope was geometry, but that only gets in a couple shots, and that's really the game right there. So it was really fascinating because Delivery is, Delivery is an unbelievable card right now. I would say, yeah, Delivery is just one of the most amazing cards right now in this lineup. And that apparently is not the, the stats right there. Yeah. So, Delivery, I think, is one of the best cards in the game right now. If you saw the Clash with the Ash tier list, I think it was either S tier or A tier. It was high up there. I mean, it is really amazing. It's getting to the level of where Tornado was a few months ago, where you pretty much have to have it if you want to win. If you don't have it, you have to have Tornado. So I think holding on to that card really allowed Airsurfer to open up the field and create a push where it could have been stopped a lot earlier. Because if that Lumberjack was taken out by Delivery a lot earlier than it should have, perhaps we don't see Ram Rider come in with Bandit, and it just becomes a cycle advantage. So a good win for Airsurfer to get the USA on the board in this game right here. I'm going to end the video right here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe wherever you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next video.